Okay.
My name is Mel Lehman. I'm the Director of Common Humanity, and we are a nonprofit organization which seeks to build understanding between people here in the US and people in the Middle East. And today we're very honored to have a distinguished Iraqi artist, Danya Kubba, who is with us today. And there she is on the screen. Welcome, Danya. We're glad you're here.
Hi, Mr. Mel. How are you? I hope you're all fine.
I'm good. How is Baghdad today? Late at night in Baghdad? You're up late?
What?
It's late in Baghdad. You've stayed up for our interview.
Not too late, but late.
Okay. Good. Well, I would be very eager to hear about your training as an artist. And let me tell you a quick story, and then I'll stop talking. But I have visited Iraq about 6 or 7 times. And on one of my trips, I went to the artist district. It was near the Tigris River, right? Is it called Karada? Karada is where they are. Yeah. So I went there to meet someone, and I remember walking in to this small, narrow area, and suddenly I saw all of these famous paintings from great artists: Leonardo da Vinci, the Mona Lisa, Botticelli, Venus Arising from the Sea, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. And I realized that this was part of the training, that people, these were in their school days, had made copies of these great artists. Is that something you did in your training? And tell us a little bit about how you got your training as an artist.
Art began with me with childhood, like a talent. I draw everywhere, like inside cabinet, under stairs. I waste a lot of paper. But when I took it seriously, when I start to learn interior design in Beirut, the lesson in this college make another lesson, like art, color of theory. The teachers in this college support me, how to learn me intensive a lot. Yeah, and also my parents in Baghdad, they supported me to learn art through the school, but I never learned inside an academy in Baghdad. I just take it seriously in college. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Well, you have produced some very lovely paintings, and let's take a look at some of your paintings, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about it. Would you, let's go that way. So let me see if I can do screen share.
Yeah.
And here is, okay, can you see the name Common Humanity?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, now do you see the name Danya Kubba? Do you see that there on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Okay, excellent. So this is working. The technology is working. So let's look at this picture which you just sent me. I think this is a remarkable picture. It's very engaging, very mysterious, very powerful. There is the lovely lady, and her head surrounded by a halo. In religious art, what would we call that? A halo. And there's a fish, and there's beautiful hair. Great painting, very intriguing. How would you describe this?
Yeah, I will start to describe it. This is like we say, like traditional women, Iraqi women. They like have the face of Iraqi, big eyes, small nose, and the color of behind the woman. We use it in traditional life to protect us from any things like negative energy. Okay, and the fish and this art, it means when we in Iraq, we believe the fish and our dream it is to get more money, more something is good in our life. And the gold, we love gold here. It is good vibes. And all of this art means like rich women bring a golden fish.
Well, when I visited Baghdad, the several times I visited Baghdad, I had my friend was from Beirut, and he worked with humanitarian work. My visits there were all humanitarian. I did helping kind of humanitarian work. And my host was Michel Nahal, and he was from Beirut. And one time he took me to a restaurant by the river, because maznou, is that maznou? Is that the kind of fish, the special?
Mazgoof. It's called mazgoof.
Ah. And that is a
Mazgoof,
famous dish in Iraq.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so famous.
Yeah, yeah. And the colors give good energy. They give to protect you.
This is me samples like to protect us from negative energy, something bad to come.
Mm-hmm.
We put these samples in our home, like in the door. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to remind our viewers in our audience that we will welcome questions. So if people out there would like to ask Danya a question, please do. But let's continue we'll get to those after we look at a few more pictures. Here is another one of your paintings, and I believe you called this Still in the Middle of a Storm. The storm is outside, and here's the quiet, still place inside. Did I have that right?
Yeah, she drank a cup of coffee, and here we read the coffee. Inside, there's a sample in the coffee. We read it. There's samples of our future, anything to come. This girl, she drinks the water, and then even she see in the cup her future.
So how would that work? You would see different shapes of the coffee grounds, and you would how do you interpret that?
When we finish the coffee, we flip it upside down. Yeah, the coffee will be down, and it's a pure samples. These samples, some people they read it. Yeah, they see more things about their future, their jobs, life, love, anything.
Do you remember anything that happened to you that was predicted by the coffee? Did it come true?
Yeah, my marriage.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is a very nice picture, and you see that storm outside, and here is the quiet inside. Is that a radio next to the?
Yeah, it's a radio.
Yeah. So you listen to the radio.
With joker cards.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a joker card inside.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay. And here is a view in the studio, right? You have a look at some of the things around you, and you did a nice painting, very nice painting of it. Here's your Pepsi can, which when I was in Iraq, we had Pepsi. So I remember Pepsi, something connected with Iraq.
Okay. This paint, it's more starting point in my life. When I come back from college, this is my stuff, my dress, my bag, my shoes. When I back from college, I put it together in this chair and take a picture. This is a beautiful day for me. And I draw it. All of this means some things. Mm-hmm. The box, like the black and white, the life for me, it's like a game. Mm-hmm. We must to play it good. And this tank of Pepsi, like I drink it in this day. I put it with this collection.
Okay.
My my red shoes. It means to me the powerful and love.
Mhm.
My bag, my flower. It's a new start for me.
Mhm.
So near near art from my heart. In this day, I choose the right way in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And how would you describe your paintings in general? Abstract, or these are a little bit more realistic? Is this would be typical of your paintings, or you have both?
I can I can describe my art like it's a classic art. I draw it realistic things. Um, I really like the classic school in art, yeah, like Leonardo da Vinci, and I make a story from my drawings uh, and uh, and some secrets.
Great, great. Well, here is one of a really wonderful painting. Uh, this is
Oh,
titled Iraqi Mona Lisa, Shubab Queen Nour. And this is a great
uh,
painting. Tell me more about this.
this drawing is my first drawing in the art world, and I sent it to you when I joined the exception in Washington, like 2000, I thought 18, 1990. This story of this art was between the queen and her guitar. Her name is Shabad Or, Queen of Or. She was a beautiful and smart woman, have artistic sense through her stuff, like a jewelry, musical instruments. This guitar found in her tomb with her stuff in Ur, in the south of Iraq. This guitar is from wood and gold, with a bull as head. Yeah, and she playing on this guitar. She like music really. This period of Queen of Ur was a high level and artistic, and I was I want to return her memory in this art. She have a lot of art sense and music things,
Yes, and
and in his head it's like a crown from of gold. Uh, I thought it found you can find it in the museum, Iraqi museum. The crown and the guitar.
well, if you look very closely at the jewelry on her head, right? And let's go here. And I
Mm,
didn't tell you this ahead
yeah,
of time. This is her jewelry, which is here in the museum in New York City. It's called the
yeah,
Metropolitan Museum of Art. And can you say anything more about that? I could tell you a little bit, but you could tell me better than I could tell you.
all of her stuff. They found it in her tomb, like a jewelry, the crown, the guitar. The guitar they found two. One of them is silver. They took it to I thought the British Museum, and the gold here in Baghdad. And more. Can you ask me?
Well, this I might add that Ur was the home of Abraham and Sarah. And we speak of the three Abrahamic faiths, the Muslim religion, the Christian faith, the Jewish faith, all trace their roots to Abraham and Sarah. And so this jewelry and the painting of the queen came from ancient Sumer and actually came from Ur. And the person who made this great discovery was Sir Leonard Woolsey. And he discovered this in the early 1900s. And this was a discovery of a whole new civilization, which we hardly knew existed, called Sumer. And Sumerian culture is often thought of as where the culture, the whole world civilization began. So you are a descendant of a great queen who founded a great civilization, our civilization, Iraq, the birthplace of civilization. So this is great. And this is in the Metropolitan Museum here in New York City. At the moment, it's closed, but it is here in New York City. Let's take a look at, did we lose Danya?
Okay.
There we are.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So we're just talking about this great discovery made by Sir Leonard Woolsey, who is the husband of a famous writer called Agatha Christie. And that's what we know about it here in this part of the world. But in your part of the world, she's a great queen and one of your ancestors. I want to also add two other pictures. This is a place I visited near Ur in southern Iraq on one of my trips. And this is said to be the home of the Garden of Eden, right? This is the traditional home of the Garden of Eden at the confluence of the Tigris and Euphrates River. And here's a picture of me in 2002 with a team of doctors at the Ishtar Gate, which is a replica of the Ishtar Gate in ancient Babylon. So long story short, you come from a great country and a great heritage. Let's see what questions, let me show this yet. This is more about Kubba, Danya Kubba on Facebook, her Facebook page. And here is our Common Humanity website. And if you want to send us a question, you can write to info@commonhumanity.org. I think we have a little bit of an internet connection at the moment. There's Danya again. There we are. We're back.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. There's a problem in Wi-Fi.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll do fine. Let's see what the questions are. And if you have more questions, let's see what they are. But we have two so far, and we welcome our viewers to send in some more questions. We have a question from Haider Khalib. Danya, you have energy, passion to do art. How do you ever lose that energy? Do you ever lose your energy, your passion for art, and how do you get that back?
Oh, yes, I lose my passion. But I want
Again, I think we're losing some of the Wi-Fi connection here. Well, we will see if we can get Danya back. We have a third question. What museums in the world do you look forward to visiting? That's a good question for Danya when she comes back. While we wait for Danya's Wi-Fi to be restored, I want to point out that these paintings are for sale. We have exhibits around the eastern part of the US. We're looking for venues to show this beautiful art. We, the United States, invaded Iraq 20 years ago, and I think the least we can do is to have an art exhibit to pay honor to the great people of Iraq. There's Danya again. We're so glad to have you back. That's great.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Sorry for Wi-Fi. So yeah. And Yeah. Do you lose passion to do art sometimes? If so, how you get back online? Yeah, I lose my passion sometimes, but when I search about a new idea, new story to make it, it come back. When I hear some music, new music, uh, I will get my back my passion.
Well,
And
I'm sorry.
uh, I I uh, I see another question. Do you have artwork in your door area that has helped? How and explain in your door area? Uh, I don't understand this question.
I think the question was, you had an eye or some of the gold in the
Okay,
doorway.
yes, I have it. Yeah, who has helped? How any example? It's some beliefs or our culture believes. This ISIS help us to move on and. Like our grandmother, grandfather, they believe in this idea. It seems the blue color is take the negative energy. We have many example in our life, but you can explain it to you now. And I found interesting that the artwork span across many time frames that you should comes back to.
Yeah, I think Michelle is pointing out that there are so many thousands of years that we're looking at. 2000 BC, that would be 4,000 years ago, to a Pepsi can, which is very contemporary. Is there a time period that you find most interesting to study and include in your artwork? Which of these many periods, the ancient days of Sumer or some other periods that you find most interesting to include in your work?
Ancients. Yeah, I like the ancients, more interesting for me.
No, no.
Yeah, what is your biggest challenge in Iraq? My biggest challenge. Um, for now, I focus to be a famous and interior designer. Yeah,
Okay.
to make people more believe in design. The design and interior, all of this is like art. I use it when I design something. It's like I paint like an art. So for now, yeah, I focus to be an interior designer, famous interior designer, and then I want to make more develop or my art.
Great. We have hello from Batul Qasim from Baghdad, sends his greetings. Glad to hear from you.
Yeah.
My friend John, yes. My friend John has a very good question, which I was just about to get to. He's asking us about the United States invasion of Iraq 20 years ago. And his specific question is, do the military and political problems Iraq has experienced come to expression in your art? Or are you creating art that gives people a vision that overcomes Iraq's tragedies? Good question. In other words, how does that terrible experience affect your art, and does your art help to heal some of those wounds? That might be another way of thinking about that question.
I help them to move on this period of our life. You created the art that given people a vision that overcomes Iraq critics.
Are there any memories of that invasion that stick in your mind that were particularly? What do you remember of that moment 20 years ago?
Oh, when I heard this question, I saw my life like a film. Really, I can call this period like a black period in our life. Really, I will talk like clear with any compliments. We're here to talk together under humans. But the worst period is the war after 2003. During this war, we lost homes, we lost friends, we lost a lot of our family. Some of them they leave the country, and another someone's die killed. We have the war, the darkness period in this war. When the wars happened, I was like 10 or 9 years old. I was a child. Yeah, but my sense, my feelings, when I was a child, I lost my safe, I lost my future. There's unknown future for me and also for my family. And in the art side, we can see in this how effective the war on the art side. They back the Iraq a lot of years before. I see there's more exception, more people buy many arts, but after that, no, the Iraq just fell down. I see in this year, I can see in the Iraq, you can move on. Just in 2000, this year, this year. After that, we can. I forget this. Really, this is the question is so hard for me. Yeah.
Well, I want to apologize to you. I think as an American, you're owed an apology, and I want to apologize to you. It's terrible.
But we can move. We are a strong people. We have a dreamer. This war make a powerful generation. Today we have a power of energy, of dreams, of goals. I thought this generation will be so good for Iraq. This war, she make it this generation.
Well, I am so grateful for our time together. We've reached our half-hour mark, and we have generally tried to keep our discussions to about a half hour. What can we do for peace? We ask everybody that question. What is something that the average person can do to avoid war and to build peace? What suggestion would you have for those of us watching, something that we could do to help make peace as opposed to make war?
All people have a peace, but not governmental. It's like a political games. Every people in every country, there are people who have a peace. They have humanity. There is love, and we cannot make a peace, and this game is move on.
Well, thank you so much for taking time for this discussion, and I think you've helped us to see peace and helped us to achieve peace, and we will rededicate ourselves to work for peace. That's what Common Humanity does. Is there anything we haven't discussed that you'd like to add before we close? Any thoughts you'd like to share? Any ideas before we say goodbye? Any additional thoughts? I'm so much admirer of your work.
No.
Beautiful art, and I'm so glad to be your friend.
Really, I really thank you, and I'm so sorry for my language. It's not good enough to talk.
Language is fine. Your language is fine. You did a great job.
Okay, thank you.
I would conclude by noting that you can visit Danya Kubba on Facebook, and you can learn more about her paintings and get to know her better by visiting Danya Kubba, DanyakUbba on Facebook. And you can also contact her through there. You can contact her through Common Humanity, which is the work we do. We're looking for places to exhibit this beautiful art. Help us, give us an entry into a civic area, a church, a public place. We can show this beautiful art. It is for sale. We want to get people to buy this. We are looking for people to buy this beautiful art. Do what we can to build these connections. Thank you so very, very much, Danya. I wish you a good evening. Thank you to our viewers. We'll be back in about a month. We're going to have these discussions with artists in the Middle East about once a month. So please come back and join us again. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for your time together.
Thank